control over your life.
I believe that it will mean the establishment of a worldwide totalitarian biotech state.
Expelled and arrested for defending biblical beliefs. A young man speaks out against woke gender rules at his Catholic high school.
God's natural order is under attack. The family unit in general is being attacked from every angle, and they're starting with the youth.
SCOTUS hears two big tech cases that may have big consequences for social media.
Go and hold platforms liable for having these recommendations. It means that there's more manual review, more censorship, less content getting to users.
And the tiny Christian college that's taking on the feds over woke gender rules. And it's all right here on the Global Lane. The World Health Organization is moving forward to revise international health regulations in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Some member states are expressing concern over provisions of the zero-draft WHO Convention Agreement. Critics say the proposed agreement would give the WHO authority over health care, trade, and other aspects of our lives. Well, joining us to explain more is Reggie Littlejohn. Ms. Littlejohn is president of Women's Rights Without Frontiers and co-chair of the Stop Vaccine Passport Task Force. Hi, Reggie. Before we discuss how this ties into U.S. law, what would approval of this zero-draft agreement mean for people worldwide?
Well, I believe that it will mean the establishment of a worldwide totalitarian biotech state. So these instruments, and by the way, you correctly characterized the zero draft as an agreement. That's what they're calling it. They don't want to call it a treaty because they are deliberately trying to subvert the United States and the other countries' treaty processes. So if it's an agreement, all it takes is a signature. It does not take going through our Senate. So people say, oh, don't worry about it. It will never pass our Senate. Well, they are deliberately subverting our Senate process.
Signatories must recognize, quote, the central role of the WHO as a directing and coordinating authority on international health work. What do you believe that means?
Well, it means that the WHO is able to call the shots if there's any health emergency or potential health emergency anywhere in the world. And the language that says that they have to have the permission of the country is stricken, so that they can do it without the permission of the country. And it's not only about human health. They have something called One Health, which means that they can do it on behalf of human health, animal health, plant health, the environment. They can use any reason that they want to be able to come in and basically run the show in terms of addressing that health issue.
And I've read the zero draft proposal. It gives the WHO authority over the global supply chain, trade, commerce, through establishment of the WHO Global Pandemic Supply Chain and Logistics Network. WHO Director General Tedros would lead that effort. Early on in the pandemic, you remember Tedros praised President Xi Jinping for China's efforts to control the outbreak. So your thoughts on him and his potential control of the supply chain?
Well, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus is very closely aligned with the Chinese Communist Party, and the Chinese Communist Party has absolutely outsized influence at the World Health Organization, which is why they were able to get away with all the lies that they did, which were just amplified by Dr. Tedros. So this is not a good alliance at all. And in terms of the supply chains, they are also wanting to take control over the intellectual property. Like if somebody in the United States or another country develops a great vaccine, they're going to be forced to share that information, which I think is bad for the production of pharmaceuticals. I think that intellectual property rights are very important.
Yes, I noticed that in the draft agreement. And here in the U.S., let's move forward. How is the Biden administration planning to use the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, to pre-approve whatever is approved by the WHO.
This is something that just came to my attention on Friday from an international law expert, that this National Defense Authorization Act, which was rammed through at the very end of the last Congress, contains within it something called the International Pandemic Preparedness Act. And I think most people in Congress don't even know about this. But that act contains a loophole in it, which he argues, and I agree, makes it that whatever the World Health Organization passes is automatically made law in the United States, again, subverting our Senate. So this needs to be opposed. And in fact, I think that the entire...
So, she issued that her friend make a very good point, good opinion, that institution through that national rule decision. I'll show you this. National Defense Authorization. So with this, which is this is tools by executive by the president. If it is this law was agreed, then appear. So then the role of the
I think most people in Congress don't even know about this, but that...
So the role of the Congress no longer exists because this institution then make and subvert movement through this law. So whatever the proposal of WHO must be agreed by the citizen in America, which is Congress will no longer be needed to make approval, to make a checks and balance.
That act contains a loophole in it, which he argues, and I agree, makes it that whatever the World Health Organization passes is automatically made law in the United States, again, subverting our Senate. So this needs to be opposed. And in fact, I think that...
Jadi saya akan coba pakai bahasa Indonesia. Intinya gini, karena penjelasannya panjang banget. Jadi wanita yang di wawancara ini sumber terpercaya, dia menyatakan bahwa ada satu institusi yaitu WHO, itu nanti lewat National Defense Act yang dipus oleh Presiden Amerika Serikat, itu nanti akan menjadi sebuah gerakan yang bawah tanah, dia bisa masuk memaksa seluruh masyarakat di Amerika, bahkan jika ini diakui di seluruh negara, ini bisa memaksa seluruh masyarakat di seluruh dunia untuk menyetujui proposal dari WHO, karena ini kan syarat dengan kepentingan. Beliau sempat menyebutkan soal kepentingan dari China, yang dimana China itu sebenarnya awalnya itu memang tidak punya kewenangan circle untuk memutuskan apa kebijakan yang dilakukan oleh Amerika, tapi ternyata lewat ini Presiden itu mengeluarkan sesuatu yang bisa membuat kepentingan China itu mulai misalnya lewat vaksin itu bisa masuk, dan warga negara harus menyetujuinya. Itu kan gila. Jadi subverting Senat, jadi peran Senat, peran Kongres akhirnya tidak lagi berjalan. Ini update bagaimana perempuan tersebut mengatakan ini Senat juga nggak sadar tentang hal ini. Ini kan mengerikan sekali.
That the entire World Health Organization attempt to take over the world really through vaccine passports.
Bahkan ada pernyataan mengerikan bahwa WHO mencoba untuk menguasai seluruh dunia, mengambil kewenangan di seluruh pemerintahan di seluruh dunia melalui apa? Vaksin. Gila.
Passports, that's another thing that they want to do.
Melalui paspor vaksin.
The World Health Organization, if these things are passed, will have the ability to mandate in the United States how we handle a pandemic, including forced quarantines, forced mask mandates, forced vaccine mandates. Why should we allow Dr. Tedros, who failed so miserably in handling the Wuhan virus, order us around about how we handle our own health? So I think that
Dia mempertanyakan bagaimana Dr. Pedro ini yang melakukan banyak kesalahan menghandle persoalan di Wuhan, kok bisa-bisanya menyuruh kita untuk internal masalah kita, masalah internal di negara Amerika.
we should actually withdraw from the WHO, and we are calling for. There's a bill that is sponsored by Representative Biggs, and there is also a debate right now about raising the debt ceiling. I think that anyone who believes in freedom in the U.S. Congress should condition raising the debt ceiling on U.S. withdrawal from the World Health Organization.
Okay, Reggie Little.
Dia coba untuk mengisukan tentang keluar dari WHO, mengisukan tentang debt ceiling buat mereka yang setuju dengan pemikiran-pemikiran Kongres misalnya tentang kebebasan.
John, president of Women's Rights Without Frontiers and co-chair of the Stop Vaccine Passports Task Force. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
What if you could hire an
Jadi ini yang pertama ya guys. Jadi ini ada berita lagi nanti soal tentang seorang laki-laki yang seorang siswa yang dia dipaksa untuk apa namanya menyerahkan prinsip-prinsip hak untuk beragama. Misalnya ketika dia menghadapi tindakan diskriminasi dari pihak sekolah dan pihak polisi ketika dia membela bagaimana laki-laki memakai toilet dari yang biasanya dipakai oleh perempuan. Seperti itu. Oke, mungkin selanjutnya nanti kita ada live lagi ya.